Okay. Happy Monday, Magnetic Monday. Okay, so today we are going to bake a pie. We can bake an abundance pie or you can make an apple pie, whatever you like. Okay, so hopefully you all like cooking or baking, and because that's the analogy that we're going to use to explain how your brain works. So your brain is like the restaurant, the whole restaurant, and your superconscious is the director of house, head of house, in charge of everything. And your superconscious knows all about the running of the restaurant. It's been there since its actual creation. So it knows everything that's happened. It knows all the family history. It knows all the recipes that have all been passed down through the years. And it knows everything that's going on in-house. So the kitchen is like your unconscious mind, and it turns out the recipes. So what it knows is what it's familiar with, and that's what your unconscious mind does. Your unconscious mind keeps you safe all the time, but it runs on old programming, if you like. It turns out what it knows best from the past, what it's familiar with, and what it's been handed down through your family, which sometimes also hinders us. So you want to make a nice, lovely meal. So you can have an abundance pie or an apple pie, whatever you want. But instead, this pie that comes from the kitchen has absolutely awful ingredients. It's terrible, and it's actually painful to eat. It's so awful. It's really, really bad. So when you eat it, instead of if it was an apple pie, instead of say sugar that sweetened the apples, they've used salt and mustard and pepper, and it's absolutely disgusting. So you ask the superconscious, who knows all the ingredients, to go back into the kitchen and find the recipe for that apple pie or abundance pie. So if it was an abundance pie, it's got a lot of lack in it instead of abundance. And you want to ask your superconscious to go into the kitchen and ask them to eliminate all the mustard and cloves and pepper and all the rubbish out your apple pie, or if it's your abundance pie, to take out the lack and put in much more abundance. So that's what we're going to ask the superconscious to do, to go back, eliminate all this rubbish out the pie, and now you've got you've got at least the basic ingredients. So that's step one. So that's basically getting rid of your limiting beliefs is what we're talking about if we're not in the. And now you want to add all the extras. So your extras would be like ice cream and whipped cream and almonds and a bit decoration, a bit powder. And that's like the abundance. That's the extras that, we're not just, the basic pie would be, right, you're just able to pay your bills and you're just able to buy your food, and there's no extras. There's no real things to really enjoy your life with, to go on holidays. And so that's kind of what the ice cream and the cream and the almonds and whatever else you might like to go with your apple pie, that's what they would signify. So we want some ideas on how to improve so that you have a more delicious pie. So we're going to ask your superconscious, the director of the restaurant, we're going to ask them for their help. I'm just looking at my recipe here. I've come up with the wrong thing. Where am I? Oh, right, I've written it in 2 bits here. So we're going to ask them to to replace all the rotten bits in the pie and replace it with something better, something much, much more palatable and much better than that rotten pie. And that was all on automatic, that pie. That was all made by the subconscious. So we want our basic pie. So step number 2, to get to our cream and ice cream and all the rest of it, we really need to clean up the kitchen. So daily cleaning of the kitchen, i.e. your unconscious mind, every day. So that would be in the form of meditations, things to move you forward in your life. That's what's going to equate to what was cleaning up the kitchen. So every day, if you're changing the way, all that negativity that you often have in your daily life, we want to replace that. We're going to put in some really, really positive things. We're putting in magnetizations, meditations, all these things to help you to raise your vibration, really. And that's basically a bit like cleaning the kitchen. And that would be the equivalent of dealing with your negative emotions. So to do that, we can do that with the Recode. So that would be the Recode's going to deal with all the negativity and the things that are holding you back. And then the daily application of your magnetizations, your meditations, your positive thinking, that's like cleaning up the kitchen. And it's an ongoing job. It's not something you can do once a month and expect that pie to be really lovely. So we need to change the ingredients, i.e. the limiting beliefs, and then we need to really replace those negative emotions, that negativity and everything. We need to replace that with the opposite. So positivity and putting in the good stuff. That's what we need to do. So that's how we bake a nice pie, and how we have that abundance pie is putting in more and more of the good stuff. So I hope that kind of explains in an analogy how the difference between that rotten pie with the mustard and the pepper and cloves and God knows all what, mustard, yuck. Replacing the ingredients means that we're replacing all the limiting beliefs by doing recodes. Something comes up, gets in your way, stops you going for your goal, you recode it. And then every day, you're replacing all that negativity, all that rubbish, you're replacing it with high vibe. You're doing things that you love to do. You're getting out walking, your yoga, whatever it is for you. For me, it's painting. You're replacing it with things that you love and doing your meditations, doing your walking, and tuning into your higher self. Basically, that's how we change. But it's an ongoing process and it can take time. So we need to keep at it and keep on recognizing the limiting beliefs that are coming up, being aware of them so that we can change our reaction the next time they happen. And, that's how you do it. So should you need help, obviously I can do one-on-one sessions to recode stuff if it's deep-seated stuff, or you've got the recordings in the club. So that's basically how we are going to make a lovely abundance or apple pie. So I hope you enjoyed that little kitchen job and I hope you're ready to clean your kitchen. Have fun. Thank you very much. Hey, hello. I'm trying to stop. Oh. Natalie, can you hear me? If you can hear me, Natalie, just come back in and I'll just delete the end part.